Hello, this is Gio, and today's project is going to be finishing off this door with some door trim molding. We have some door trim molding here, and I'll show you how to install it today. So the first step is just purchase your molding, and this was just purchased at Home Depot. And we're typically trying to match the existing molding that's here. Sometimes that could be accomplished. Sometimes you have to pick a different type of molding, slightly different, but try to match what you have existing in your room. And so measuring out the trim piece here, you don't want to typically have the trim piece just flush with the door frame itself. You want to have it a little reveal offset, and it could be as little as a 1/4 inch. I like, or excuse me, 1/8 of an inch. I like using a 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm going to do first is just at these corners, just mark up a 1/4 of an inch and over a 1/4 of an inch. Just like that. Do it on the other side too. And then using that mark, I'm just going to kind of put the molding trim piece butt to the floor. This carpet here, so it's a little squishy, but kind of just hold it there and just use that mark we did to figure out where we're going to cut. Now we're going to cut this at a 45-degree angle like that, so when the top piece comes, there'll be a nice 45-degree match. Now for the top piece here, what I'm going to do, I could either measure it from the marks I made, but I'm going to do it a little different. I'm just going to measure from the inside of the door frame to the outside, and then add a 1/2 inch since I want a 1/4 inch reveal on either side, and that will be my cut. So it's about 30 1/8, so it'll be about 30 5/8 cut. Okay, so we have our electric miter box all hooked up. Now if you don't have an electric one, you could always use just a standard miter box with a handsaw. It works just as well, but this is a little easier. So the first thing we want to do, now this is the left side trim, and so our angle is going to be 45 degrees in this direction. Now you want to be sure that you have the direction correct, because on the right side it would be opposite. This is the left side, so you want it in this direction. So we just set it to 45 degrees. And make her cut. Okay, with our cuts made, you could just kind of fit them in place. This is the top molding piece here, the side, and kind of make sure that it all matches up. And what I'm going to be using to nail these things in is about 1.5 inch finishing nails, using a finishing nail gun here, and hooked up to an air compressor. If you don't have one of these, brad nailers do just fine. Again, they usually come with various size brad nails, or you could just hammer in by hand finishing nails, and it works. It takes a little longer. You have to countersink, but these are so common, especially the brad nailers, that you could probably either borrow one or purchase one fairly inexpensively. So we'll just go ahead and hook it up. I'm just putting it kind of matching on the bottom, and I'm just going to sink one right now, right here, up on the top, using my marks as a guide. And we'll go ahead and put a nail on the bottom. And then every about maybe 1.5 feet on this edge. And then you want to put maybe 3 on the back end because it's a little floppy on the back end. Maybe one in the center, and I do know that there is a stud right there. And then maybe okay, next I will do the top piece, leaving the left for the end, and I want to match up the top molding here with the one I just installed. And then just put one tack right here. And then with that side tacked in, I'm going to use the left piece to make sure that I position the top of this so it'll match with the left molding. And I'll go ahead and tack this in. Like that. And then just put a couple up on top for reinforcement. And then lastly, the left piece. So I'll start up on top where it matches molding here. Make sure it matches. Tack it in. And then I'll stick one on the bottom. Now the molding piece is a little bit bowed, but I will just apply a little pressure right in the center to straighten it out, and then finish up tacking it in. And there you go. It's pretty simple. I just have to use some wall compound or some wood filler to fill in these nail holes. Also to kind of fill in these spaces there. And if you'd like, you could actually put some caulking on the edges before we paint the trim and the door. So I hope this helped you out. Good luck on your projects. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.